So it looks like we officially are getting a Clayface project from DC Studios. This news is kind of crazy. Having this Clayface character in live action would just be all kinds of bonkers on the big screen. I can't wait to see what they do with this. But guys, before we jump into this article and start talking about details and information that we know about this now greenlit movie, I just want to go through some artist renditions of what a live action Clayface might potentially look like. I have some images here, like artwork or renders if you like, and I think as a body horror type of movie in the DC universe, this would be scary as hell, and I'm so there for it. If they do it right, I think it could look absolutely insane. So let's check out some of these artist renditions. Start off with this one here. So as you can see, it's like a grotesque piece of, I don't even know what this is. It's just like a body horror piece of sludge. It's got teeth and it's got a couple of eyes, and it just looks menacing as hell. Could you imagine coming across this in a dark alleyway? It would be all kinds of nightmare fuel. And let's move on to the next image. Again, another kind of rendition here. This one almost looks a bit like Abomination. You know, that character that the Hulk fought against in the Hulk movie. That's the kind of vibes that I get here. But it's a different kind of tact that they could go with the kind of look of a Clayface character here. But yeah, again, absolute nightmare fuel. If done right with great cinematography, this could look really, really creepy. So let's take a look at another one. Again, this is the more body horror route here. As you can see, it's got like faces and teeth and hands and claws and stuff coming out of different parts of his body. So if they wanted to go the more horror, body horror sort of route with this, they could just make it all the more terrifying. Like an R-rated Clayface, where this guy walks around the city, he consumes people. It gets more grotesque as the movie goes on. And yeah, I think it would be really, really kind of fun, but kind of terrifying at the same time. But check out one more image here. This is a more cartoon render, but again, he looks like a big piece of sludge, and he's just got the teeth and the eyes, and obviously he can transform into different shapes, and I think it would just be really, really fun. But that's just something I wanted to go into there, guys, just looking at a few of those kind of artist renders there of what he could potentially look like in a live action project. But let's get back over to the article here. This comes to us from Variety, by the way, one of the most reputable outlets that there is when it comes to movie news. So we can take this information to the bank. We know that it's going to be accurate. So, Clayface movie officially underway at DC Studios with Mike Flanagan writing. So yeah, like I said, it's very kind of like, this is something we knew, a lot of people have been asking recently if a Clayface project was going to come up. We didn't know if he would be appearing in a TV show, he'd be appearing in someone else's movie, but for him to actually have a standalone project where the actual movie is featuring on the character, instead of him being a side character or a villain, him actually being the main plot of the movie, that's kind of cool, to be honest. So, fresh off the success of the HBO series The Penguin, DC Studios has officially greenlit a feature film centered around Clayface, the shape-shifting Batman villain, from a script written by Dr. Sleep filmmaker Mike Flanagan. According to the source with direct knowledge of the production, plot details are scarce, but filming is expected to begin early next year. So the one thing as well, a lot of people are saying, is this going to be in the Matt Reeves The Batman universe, the crime saga universe as it's being known, or is this going to be in James Gunn's DC universe? If I had to guess, take an educated guess, this would be part of James Gunn's DC universe, because this character is very wacky, very zany, very supernatural, very body horror. It's not something I could see being in the crime saga universe with the Penguin and the Batman. That's a very grounded, very human, very boots on the ground kind of level universe. Everything in that universe is very realistic, whereas in the DCU it's more fantastic. We have Green Lanterns, we have Superman, you know, we have Hawkgirl, all these kind of terrific type of characters. So if I had to guess, I would say Clayface is going to be in James Gunn's DCU, not Matt Reeves' crime saga universe. But I don't know yet. I don't think it's been confirmed either way, but if I had to guess, that's the kind of way I would say it's going at the moment. So, plot details are scarce, but filming is beginning early next year. We already read that. Matt Reeves and Lynn Harris will produce through their company 6th and Idaho Productions. Flanagan, who first pitched DC Studios on a Clayface project in 2023, tweeted in 2021 that he was really keen to do a standalone Clayface movie as a horror, thriller, and tragedy. There we go, guys. So that's a bit of inside information there. So it's a standalone Clayface movie, and it's a horror, thriller, tragedy. So it does sound like it could potentially be a body horror type of movie. which would be kind of cool. A tragic type of movie as well. The person who is Clayface being consumed by the Clayface form. And as the movie goes along, that body horror gets ratcheted up, gets worse and worse. And I mean, that could be something really, really horrific and kind of tragic to see a person being consumed by the Clayface form. But he has already committed to write and direct a new take on The Exorcist for Universal through Blumhouse and Morgan Creek, and he's also developing a series adaptation of Stephen King's novel Carrie for Amazon MGM Studios. So it sounds like he's going to be very, very busy. This Mike Flanagan is going to be so busy. So you know, when is he going to get to this Clayface project? We might have to wait a fair while until we get it on the screen. So DC has been on the hunt for a director to take the reins, and an announcement is imminent. So we'll have to keep our eyes open to see who they get as the director. Fingers crossed that they get someone with a really good track record. A representative from DC Studios had no comment. So Clayface, one of the earliest Batman antagonists, has passed through several iterations since he was introduced in 1940. This character was introduced in 1940. That's insane. He's 80 years old. Wow. As a washed-up actor who turns to crime wearing the clay-like mask of a character he once played. The character's shape-shifting abilities were first introduced in 1961, and he's been portrayed in many live-action and animated Batman adaptations, including by Ron Perlman in Batman the Animated Series in the 1990s, by Brian McManaman, I don't know how you say that, Brian McManaman, I think that's how you say it, on the 2010 Fox series Gotham, and most recently by Alan Tudyk on the Max animated comedy Harley Quinn. Oh my god, Clayface in the Harley Quinn series. Clayface is so damn funny. He's like a failed actor, and he's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't been checking out the Harley Quinn series, make sure you do. But Clayface in the Harley Quinn series is so damn funny. One of the best characters. The decision to greenlight the project is the strongest signal yet that DC Studios co-chiefs James Gunn and Peter Safran intend the studio to incorporate a wide assortment of storytelling tones. Quote, "One of the main things I want to establish is that you can do anything at DC Studios," Gunn recently told Variety while discussing his animated series Creature Commandos, the first official title in the new DC universe. "We can make a complete family fare. We can make something that's for general audiences like Superman. We can make something that's violent and sexual, like this. It's about creating a world in which we can tell a story about, you know, one type of character in different genres." Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing. When we think of Marvel, like, I'm a Marvel fan as much as anybody else, so I'm not knocking on Marvel. But a lot of people say that Marvel has a cookie-cutter kind of approach to their movies. The tone very much feels the same across a lot of their movies. And when it comes to DC, it seems that they want to establish a very different tone for each movie. So one movie can be like a body horror type of movie. The next movie can be a murder mystery type of movie. The next movie could be a thriller crime drama. So they want to experience like very dramatically different tones within the DC. Whereas Marvel seems to have a very kind of similar tone with a lot of their movies, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. Obviously, they've had a lot of success, so it's worked. But guys, what we're gonna do? We're gonna hop over to X. Let's read some comments on this news, and let's see what the community are saying about this news of the Clayface project. So let's go down here. We have a question here. Is this going to be in the DCU or Matt Reeves' Batman universe? Again, it would make sense. He's like a supernatural type of character. It wouldn't fit into the Matt Reeves' Batman universe. So an educated guess, it's going to be in the DCU, that more fantastical kind of universe that James Gunn is building. So, especially how it says after the success of Penguin, maybe it will be, but we don't know until we officially find out. Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying concrete one way or the other, but if I had to guess, I'm saying that my educated guess would be the DCU, but I don't know that for a fact, so don't take that to the bank. If it's in Matt Reeves' universe, it will be a grounded Clayface. Yeah, that's true. They could go very, very grounded, have an actor who wears a mask. He goes around murdering people and wears different masks and blends in different places. They could go the very grounded approach with the character, but I think a lot of people will be very, very disappointed because the newest iteration of this kind of big, almost kind of like monster, kind of clay, shape-shifting monster that we've all become used to, that's the kind of iteration that I think most fans would want on screen, not the kind of grounded murder mystery where he's swapping out masks. I mean, that could be done in a compelling way, but I think people want the big clay monster kind of form of the character. Yeah, it will clearly will be in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. We don't know that for a fact. I'd say the DCU, Matt Reeves' Batman universe is grounded in reality. There's no way we're going to get a superhuman nightmare, giant shape-changing villain like Clayface in that world. Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense to have him in that grounded universe. I'm hoping Matt Reeves' universe, Clayface like the classic scene in the Cape Crusader or even the first season of Batman animated series, dude with some chemical molding to alter his face till it gets permanent. Either an actor good at multiple personalities or various actors playing one person. Yeah, again, we could go the grounded approach. I would have no problem with that. I would prefer the big monster shape-shifting approach. That would be more fun in my opinion, but I would be up for the grounded approach as well. Matt Reeves, he's earned our respect and admiration for what he's done so far. So in Matt Reeves, I trust if they go the grounded approach. Matt Reeves will stick to the more realistic approach, so probably not. It's probably going to be in the DCU. I thought the rumor was him as the villain, so that would track. Kind of figured he'd be a Penguin's hitman, and they'd go old school Master of Disguise. Mike Flanagan has pitched this for well over a year now, so I'd bet DCU. Also would be a great way to show off Gotham of the DCU with an underrated character like Clayface. There's a third option, Elseworlds. Yeah, that's something that actually we hadn't considered. It might not be in either of those universes. It could be a complete standalone Elseworlds project, kind of like the Joker and Joker Folie à Deux, even though that movie was bad. This could be an absolute standalone Clayface Elseworlds project that has no relation to either Matt Reeves or James Gunn. That's an option that we hadn't considered, so that's a good point. If it's not in the DCU, it will be labeled as Elseworlds. And then, what's it say? As long as we have Bill Hader who plays him, I don't care. Yeah, the actor doesn't, as long as it's a good actor, that's all that matters. But that's where we are, guys. So a live action Clayface project has now been greenlit. It's going to start shooting next year. We don't know which continuity, whether it's going to be Matt Reeves universe, James Gunn universe, or an Elseworlds project. Either way, I'm going to be super excited to see how they tackle this and how they do this. I want it to go the live action body horror, big Clayface monster approach. That would be the most fun, ridiculous, crazy approach, and I want to see it in live action. It's going to be insane. But guys, jump into the comment section. Which approach would you prefer with this character? Would you prefer it to be in James Gunn's DCU with Superman and all those characters? Would you prefer it to be in Matt Reeves at the Batman with like the grounded approach? Or would you prefer the third option for an Elseworlds project where it's just a standalone, complete project by itself with no relevance to either of those DC universes? Whichever approach would you go with? Jump down and let me know your thoughts, comments, and opinions. I would love to hear your feedback and what you think about this news. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like and become a subscriber if you haven't already. I would love to have you guys around here as subscribers. It goes a long way to helping the channel, so I'd really, really appreciate that. As always, I will see you in the next video.